we're live. This is episode 8 of 5 Dumb Things. I am one of the two hosts. Who am I? I am Darren J. Gendron, and with me, haunting the ghost in the machine himself, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon J. Carr.
Hello! I'm a ghost.
What exactly was your cause of death? What was the tragedy that befell you that now you can only complain about pulp culture, and pop culture for the rest of your eternity?
I went to see Gods of Egypt.
Oh, spoiler alert for this show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we do it. We present our topics, and then we bring in an innocent and untainted guest judge to call us dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest judge is the lovely Kelly Thewlis. Say hi, Kelly.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Kelly, you are a stand-up comic in the LA area. You also, one of the reasons that I know you is that you are one of the judges on Mega Art Wars, and you work in the film industry.
Yes, I do. I work as an operations manager and coordinator for a film production company.
That is an incredibly fancy title.
Yeah. It's it sounds cooler than it is. Those job titles.
Okay, let's get right into it. We're bringing you in because you are known of your, well, somewhat your knowledge of films. Like, you've admitted in the past that you do have blind spots in film, which we might actually be hitting on these. Brandon, I want you to go first on this one. I'm going to throw you out first with movies. We'll put 5 minutes on the clock for you to make your case on what you think is dumb in movies right now.
Well, to be clear, to tell the truth from before, I have not actually seen Gods of Egypt, which makes me among the vast majority of people in these United States.
I was going to check to see what the box office was on the film. To see, like, how many people actually have seen that?
Oh, I'll tell you. So the box office so far, opening weekend was 14 million. Total so far, it's gained about 1 million since then. So total gross in the U.S. as of now is a little over 15 million, which is almost earned back its budget of $140 million.
That alone is incredible.
Yeah, it's so I want to talk about it because I haven't seen it and I don't intend to, and I don't feel like being fair. The problem with Gods of Egypt for me. There are many. One of the big problems was that conceptually it seemed kind of cool. And if you look at some of the effects in the trailers, it has bigness to it. You know, it's essentially like I don't know, like a Michael Bay movie set in ancient Egypt blowing up pyramids instead of modern day Egypt blowing up pyramids. It has to do with a mortal hero who is teaming up with the god Horus, with a cast.
Horus played by Jamie Lannister, right?
Horus is played by, I actually don't know yes, Jamie Lannister, yeah. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. No, he's Jamie Lannister. He will never not be Jamie Lannister for the rest of his life. Fair enough. Who, when I think of an Egyptian god, I immediately leap to someone who looks like Jamie Lannister, as well as just about everyone else in the film, who, including Set, who is played by Gerard Butler.
I feel like you're being facetious when you say that.
I am. I'm sorry. I should come clean. I think it is horrible the way that this film is cast. It is so full of white people.
Everybody in that film looks like they could be named Jamie. It's not a single person.
Exactly.
Not a single person.
Yeah, the men, the women, everyone, all of them Jamies. They all enjoy Pinkberry.
Right.
You know,
I'm relatively sure that Game of Thrones is actually more culturally diverse.
Absolutely.
Than Gods of Egypt.
Right. Now, in the defense of the director Alex Proyas, who did films like Dark City, and he did I, Robot, The Crow. You know, he has a good, well, he has a history of making movies. He was actually born in Egypt. to Greek parents.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that's all that he saw during his time there until he was 3 when he moved to Australia.
Ah.
So that amount of leeway that I give him is very small.
Knowing that background, it makes so much more sense. I feel like they need to I haven't seen the film either, but I feel like they should put that little blurb in the beginning of the film. Just be like, just so you guys know, this guy, born in Egypt, raised by Greek parents, lived in Australia, and then the rest of the family will go, oh, I see what he did there.
Exactly. Then we can look past everything else
Yeah.
and just let it kind of happen. It has and I don't always live by Metacritic scores because there are a lot of issues there or whatever. But it has a 24 right now, which I don't think is good.
It's not a hobo fire.
It's not a hobo fire.
There's been other films
the actual
much lower than that.
designation?
Like I think at about 10% on Rotten Tomatoes is what they would give if it was just 2 hours of footage of a trash can on fire.
Well,
like
this
that.
one has 11 on Rotten Tomatoes, so.
Oh, it isn't. Wait. Metacritic is
Metacritic.
24.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it is a hobo fire.
It's bad.
Yeah, basically, it is definitely there with hobo fires. Actually, let me pause our action for just a moment because I keep hearing messages for some reason in my headphones. I keep getting bleeps, like bloop.
I'm checking everything I got. Everything I have on my
Oh
side
no,
is
I was
muted.
thinking it was on my end, but I don't have anything that would be doing that.
It's not coming over.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Yeah, as
That
long
was
as you're not hearing it. So anyway, back to the fun.
Okay.
So, Gods of Egypt is doing terribly, which it deserves.
Let me ask you this about Gods of Egypt. There's like a sliding scale, especially you and I were both parents. We have that sliding scale of how much effort we put into going and seeing a movie. Like there's go and see it theater IMAX opening weekend, go and see it theater matinee, go and see it like second run theater, wait for it to come out on Blu-ray, pick it up then, wait for it to show up on HBO or Netflix, wait for it to just happen to be on TV. Where is it on that sliding scale?
Well, I'm at the point now with my viewing habits that I don't just turn on the TV anymore and just put on whatever's on. Like I'll usually have to do a little bit of seeking out. If I'm just sitting doing whatever, then I might put on some run of Frasier reruns or something like that. So it would have to be on the HBO Netflix.
So you're never going to see it, is what you're saying. You're never going to seek this out.
Actually, it's what I'm trying not to say, in fact. But
to be quite honest, the only way I am seeing this is if I'm stuck in a hotel and I flip on the TV and it's on and it's got like a 20-second window to show me something stupid awesome for me to like, we're going with this. But if it's got like hobo fire level Metacritic there or Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know if it's got it.
Well, now I did see a review of sorts from a cartoonist named Chris Haley, who was talking about it on Twitter, and he said that when he was watching it, it was almost worth being there with his jaw hanging open, marveling at how bad the movie itself was, that they actually allowed these things not just to be greenlit, but to be built in computers and filmed in front of green screens and distributed and promoted and just all of those steps. Seeing it just to see the kind of thing that can actually make it out into the wild with such a large marketing push and an enormous budget. And, I mean, it's full of white people, so why wouldn't people go see it, of course?
Okay. All right, let's reset the clock here. I'll present my case. I was delaying on putting my movie note in, and you were cheating. You were looking at my notes, and you saw this. Maybe I was going to talk about Finding Dory. You don't know. It was there. But he did point out very correctly that I have never officially talked Deadpool since the movie's come out. I've nudged it in here and there. I think it's very clear. I've got very serious emotions about this movie. I'm very happy about it. I think it kept the spirit of the character very correct. It's so steeped in the references of it. I mean, and a lot of it is like they kind of like amalgamize a few characters here and there. Like Weasel is actually the combination of two characters. Ajax is the combination of three characters. And that's just economy of filmmaking. That's me. Why am I waving my hands around so much while talking this? Like I'm going full Muppet when I'm talking about it. That's how intense I am about my love of this movie. I saw it opening day. I went and saw it again the same weekend, mainly because I actually missed. Like I had to get. I was in danger of peeing my pants. I was having so much fun watching this movie. I was laughing so hard that I had to get up and go to the bathroom so I wouldn't wet myself before the final act. And so then I was like, well, clearly I have to see it again. And it was nice too because I actually caught about a half dozen jokes that I completely missed the first time because I was laughing too hard.
Because you were in the bathroom, is that why you missed?
Oh, well, also the bathroom jokes as well, but even the ones that I was watching, like there were some quick, rapid-fire ones. It holds up good on a second viewing. There's lots of love and Easter eggs built in there for the comic fanboy. I'm trying to think. I think I actually own New Mutants '98. Like, there's a part of me that wants to go digging through my collection and check to see, like, I own this, don't I? Yeah, technically I think my wife owns it. The Deadpool comics are her property. Yeah, it's her favorite character. It's really fun to see the character be. For example, in my opinion, of the live-action movies, we have never seen a comic book faithful Batman. Not to the level of what we just got with Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
I will say also that with Deadpool, we do need to also acknowledge that as much as we talk about it being comic faithful, it's comic faithful to the spirit of Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it is an R-rated movie. Don't get me wrong. I love that it's an R-rated movie. I completely had a delight watching it. I do I grind my teeth a little bit when people start talking about how, he's an R-rated comic character. I had the same small problem with Daredevil. Again, I love the Daredevil TV series. The second season's coming out soon. But again, it's when we go around and we talk about how that's the nature of the character that it was R-rated, it was never an R-rated comic.
It was. I've been waiting.
You found one?
I did in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that one.
It's a fantasy story because he does indeed kill the entire Marvel Universe.
And they put that one in the Max line or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, I think it was after the Max line, but it says in big letters on the cover, "This is not for kids."
Yeah, and you know what? In fairness with Deadpool, they've made it very clear on the advertising, don't bring your kids to this movie. This is going to be violent. It's going to be raunchy. They gave us red band trailers. It's not one of those things that was like catching me by surprise. I will admit, getting to see Ryan Reynolds hang some dong, that was kind of a surprise. Didn't realize they were going to go that far. And there's other great moments accordingly. What else? It's when I say it's dumb though, I want to be clear. Like it is dumb. You cannot tell me that it's not dumb.
But God, is it fun?
But it's fun dumb, and I mean that's half our show right there. Is we could recognize when things are dumb and are hobo fires, and when things are dumb and they are works of art. So we're going to give Kelly the really hard decision here of what is dumb. Is Deadpool dumb, or is Gods of Egypt dumb?
Ooh. Now, do I need to just give like a one-word answer of this or that, or can I?
You may make your case as you see fit. You are the judge.
Okay. All right. Here's the deal. I'll be honest. I have not seen either of those films yet. And I have this thing though where I tend to, when things get super popular, I tend to pull back on wanting to see it. So Deadpool, all I've heard is such wonderful positive things about it, and that's made me go, I'll wait. It can't be, I don't know, everyone's talking such good things about it. However, Gods of Egypt, everyone's how horrible it is, and now I kind of want to see it. I don't know. That's something wrong with me mentally. I realize and recognize it, but that's what's going on.
So it's like the complete opposite of what we're saying. We're saying that one is so dumb you have to see it. One is so dumb, set it on fire. But you're not saying which is dumb.
I don't know. I'm fascinated by a good train wreck. Yeah, I mean, I will say, Deadpool's marketing campaign's been fabulous. It's been so good. I don't know if you guys saw the Valentine's Day posters that came out for it, where they made like romantic comedy, like just very clever, and I mean, it was smart. It takes on the industry. It's great. So I don't know. I think, although I haven't seen the film and it might be dumb humor, I think overall Deadpool's is very clever, at least with their marketing campaign.
So Deadpool is dumb.
Oh, she said Deadpool is clever.
It's clever.
It's clever.
Yeah, I'm saying I guess Gods of Egypt is dumb. Although I don't know, like, it's dumb. I'm gonna go with Gods of Egypt. It's dumb.
It's got Russell Crowe. That's a
that's right. It's got
Russell Crowe as an Egyptian god. Like, what are you doing?
About that. Yes, you're absolutely right. I did hear the same review of it though, where it's just watching it, you just can't help but admire how the director just really went for the crazy. Like, you're like, my God, it's so absurd and so dumb that you can't help but watch and admire. But yeah, it's we're gonna go with that.
Okay, speaking of white people, let's move on to television.
All right.
In which I talk about something that happened in TV recently that I feel is dumb, and that would be the Academy Awards.
I knew it!
So white.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, first off, Chris Rock, amazing monologue, very tight comedy. It was amazing seeing him perform that way and work it well. There was at one point, like, the dumbest moment for me was, like, they're making such a big deal about, like, they're trying, like, okay, the Academy is like, it was basically like they were a slow-moving wrecking ball, and they realized that they screwed up this year, but they still had to let the wrecking ball hit the building, like, because it was
already in motion.
Was too far along.
Yeah.
They're changing the way the nominations are going to be done next year, so really, like, the outrage that we could have on diversity in those matters will be next year. Until then, movies like Creed and Beast of No Nation are just and Straight Outta Compton, they got hosed.
Yeah,
like, it sucks for them. Also, one of the changes that they're going to be doing is going to basically it limits the amount of time that members can be of the Academy when it comes to nominating and voting. There's going to be a much smaller window for them. So now this actually makes it very interesting, because one of the other things, it's not just the racial diversity, but the genre diversity, if you ask me. And this is particularly sci-fi movies, sci-fi movies, animated movies, fantasy movies, which continuously get shafted. I am bitter that Star Wars went 0 for 5 on its nominations. I think there were a couple there that I think it got hosed on, and I was really hoping for Mad Max at Best Picture. It's a glorious movie. It's tough to figure out where did that movie do something wrong that made it not get it. And then the reality is what it did wrong that made it not win is that it looked like something that old people would not enjoy watching. And old people who were choosing the Oscars this year. The other weird thing that I thought about it was that there is one joke that fell really flat for me when I was watching it. Like they're making a big deal about how like it was kind of like they were admitting the fact that there's a diversity problem and they're promising that they're going to fix it and they're going to keep an eye on this, but then they went and like took a couple cheap shots at Asians.
Yeah.
Like what is that? Like either like it's all cultures needing to be represented in this, not just this wasn't just let's make it about blacks and whites getting along. Like what about Asians and Latinos also getting nominations? Like Oscar Isaac, like where's his freaking nomination? Or I can't think of any good Asian performances right now, or even Asian Americans specifically. But still,
And that's part of the problem. Yeah.
well, yeah, there's also not a lot of roles where that is being promoted. But yeah, it's the Oscars this year as a whole. They just have so much baggage. They're in the process of dropping the baggage, but we still need to acknowledge that they're dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Heavy sigh.
Yeah.
It's true, and we did. We brought this up before the Oscars aired, and then I actually didn't watch, but it was evident from everything that I was seeing on my Twitter feed while I was. What was I doing? While I was watching other things, while I was clearing out the DVR, it was clear that problem was as bad as we expected, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for these new rules.
Mm-hmm.
To see if they really can make a difference, to see if introducing new blood will allow a genre film to actually get a Best Picture, or see how the diversity spans or works out. And because it has been very frustrating. I had no interest in watching it. The only thing that I wanted to watch it for was Chris Rock. And I've read most of the stuff that he talked about. I do have the ceremony on my DVR, so that I can just watch his sections, but in fact, I'm not the only one. This was, I think, the lowest rated Oscars in 7 years or something like that.
It was, yeah. I mean, there was an active boycott going on for it too.
Right, and it made a difference in the ratings, substantial. I wasn't boycotting per se. I just didn't care because the actual worth of these awards was so little to me this year.
There was one. They could have basically gotten rid of most of the pageantry, just let everybody do their thank you speeches. They cut off playing somebody off in a thank you speech is so crass. I friggin' hate that. Like, just make the show run long, deal with it. But they had one award that anybody actually seemed to care about, and that was Leonardo getting Best Actor finally. Right. I really want to see what movie he's going to do next. I'm hoping for like a Farley Brothers movie, or I want it to be as dumb and juvenile as possible.
Yeah, I want him to go full goof. Like
I want nothing but dick and fart jokes for his next movie.
Well, that's what it's called. I'll start working on the treatment.
What if he was Cable? Can we get this moving? Leo for Cable.
Cable's already been cast.
Has it?
Yeah, they announced it a couple days before I saw the movie.
No, that was fake.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna edit that out. Yes, Leo for Cable. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, that was somebody put together a fake tweet and they linked it and it made it look like the tweet had been deleted. Like no, that was always fake. Wow. Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still on board for Keira Knightley.
I think a lot of people are. She's got range.
She can play Domino.
Okay.
Why can't she play Domino? Anyway,
I don't know. we're not uncasting her. We have no say in this.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was talking to. I was on the other line with the casting agency. Sorry.
Come on, Hollywood. She's got range. She can make this happen. Okay. Let's reset the clock here. Brandon, television. Give us your dumb news.
Sure. So, Darren, whatever happened to predictability?
Oh, my.
Well,
That's right. Full
I'm
House
pretty
is
sure
back.
people are predicting exactly where this conversation is about to go.
Let's have a conversation about Fuller House, shall we?
Oh.
I have been very excited about Fuller House since about, I don't know, 1996. And
Before it existed.
before it existed, it never stopped in my mind. So this isn't even like a re-entering of the world, because it's been continuing in my mind anyway. So I need to adjust some things for the official timeline that doesn't exist in my head.
How many different fan fictions did you have to edit this week?
Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3 different Google Drive accounts filled. I don't know. It's a lot. It's in the hundreds, I would say. So Fuller House came out recently. I just happened to be up at 3 a.m. when it premiered on the East Coast, and that's actually true. I was up for other reasons, but I decided to take a break at 3.
Sure. Whatever you gotta tell yourself.
There wasn't a giant LED countdown clock right above your TV just counting down.
Well, he's not telling us the other reasons were that he was watching a Full House marathon. Right.
Well, I mean, marathon or all of my DVD sets that I own, however you want to phrase it. So it came on, I watched the pilot. I was not thrilled with the pilot. The pilot plays like when you're watching Fallon or Kimmel and they have like reunion sketches, and it's all just everyone's there and the crowd is cheering and it's just catchphrase, dirty joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how the whole pilot felt to me.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, fine. Jeff Franklin needs to get some stuff out of his system. He needs to pull some people, the non-diehards like myself, back into the fold. So the next day, I only watched one. The next morning, a few hours later, I watched the second one, and it was a little bit closer to being its own thing. It was still, Uncle Jesse showed up and was a big part of it, and that's a continuing trend through all of it. But the further it goes, and the further it gets away from that pilot, the more it really does become its own thing. And when I say its own thing, it's still Full House. It's still that level of sophistication. He said, laughing. It's cheesy and it's silly, and I really enjoy it. As much as the pilot kind of turned me off because it was trying too hard, it's now picked back up to the type of humor that it was before. It is a little bit more sophisticated because they can be a little less goody two-shoes than the TGIF show on ABC. And what the showrunner has talked about is the fact that part of the reason that the jokes are a little raw at times and that it's not quite so, what's the word? So, I was going to say touchy-feely. It's definitely still touchy-feely. It's not quite so, I'll say goody two-shoes again, it is because kids are a little older now than they were in the 90s. Because there are a lot of kids in the demographic for this show that have access to the internet, that watch TV, that know who the Kardashians are. So all of their innocence is lost, clearly. So they are able to ratchet it up a bit. And it is fun to see the guest stars when they show up, when Joey comes to babysit, or Danny shows up because it's the episode where Danny shows up. It's fun to see those kind of things, but when they have standalone episodes where it's really just them, it's a good show. And so I'm watching it with the fact that that's my sense of humor. I like cheesy family humor. That's one of the compartments of my sense of humor anyway. But I put on some episodes while my son was around, and he is just shy of 13. So he's a little bit older, I think, than the demographic technically, but he laughed. He liked it. And the things that he liked about it were things that I didn't like about it so much. And he didn't like some of the things that I liked. And that actually is kind of how family-friendly entertainment is supposed to work, where it has different levels for different people. I think overall it's a successful run. So successful, in fact, that just today they announced that season 2 will be happening. So I'm going to reset the countdown clock. And now
season 2.
For season 2, here we go. Maybe
picturing you dressed up as Idris Elba, Pacific Rim style. Just reset the Shadow Dome clock.
Exactly. Well, that's my Halloween costume. But you know, and even at this point, I haven't even seen all the episodes yet. So it's not a show I wanted to binge.
Mm-hmm.
A couple episodes here, a couple episodes there. That's fine, and it's so true to its original roots. Like, I wouldn't want to watch the original Full House episode after episode. I'd go insane.
I'm surprised that you're not, like, only watching it at 8 o'clock on Fridays.
I thought about it, but then I didn't want to wait because it came out. Well, no, I guess it was going into a Friday when it came out, so I could have started with that night. But I did think about it. I was thinking about, I could ration this and just watch one a week, and it'll be like, and I'll watch my Perfect Strangers DVDs, and it'll be like the old days, which is true. But my brain doesn't work like that, and because of Netflix, because of Hulu, and the way that shows are distributed now, if I get them all at once, I'm going to watch them whenever I please. Mm-hmm. And so for a show like this, I please to watch it every 2 or 3 days, or 2 or 3 every couple days, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm more than halfway through, but I'm not at the end, and I'm enjoying it. There are some weird moments, though, that come out of nowhere where I think they try and be a little bit edgier or to catch you off guard a little bit more, and I think that's what's dumb about it, is that every once in a while they try and dive into more adult territory. There's one episode, for instance, and here's some Fuller House spoilers, guys. Mm-hmm. And the show revolves around the fact that DJ is now a widow who has 3 kids, 3 boys. And she's moved into the house. Stephanie, who is a internationally renowned DJ, who goes by the name DJ Tanner, say
that again.
Oh, sure.
Do Stephanie again.
Oh, sure. Stephanie is an internationally renowned DJ who has moved in with them as well, and she goes by the DJ name DJ Tanner, which is DJ's name, except it's not, because her married name from before her husband died is Fuller. And,
oh God.
Yeah. See, and you know what? That's a good indicator. That's a good indicator of whether or not you're going to like this show. If you hear that, and you go, "Oh, nice," like I did, then you're going to enjoy the show. If you hear that and go, "Oh God, oh no," then it's not for you. So anyway, Stephanie's moved in. Kimmy Gibbler has moved in also with her daughter Ramona. Yeah.
What about the very special episode where Kimmy Gibbler is on meth?
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm very excited about it.
I thought that was a little too edgy. Like,
right.
She starts selling the special blue kind, and
right.
Just a little
the whole tie-in with the
Breaking Bad Fuller House crossover episode.
Oh my God, I would like that. No, they're all going to wind up at the Cinnabon where Saul Goodman is currently working. But anyway, so there's one episode, all these people are living together now, there's one episode where Stephanie is helping out with the kids, and everything's going okay, and everything's fine, and Stephanie's having a good time, DJ's having a good time, everyone's fine, and then Stephanie starts crying, and DJ says, "What's wrong?" Stephanie says, "I can't have kids." And I was like, what? Where did that come from? And see, on a show, like, something similar happened on How I Met Your Mother. And that was,
wait. When we were doing our pre-show notes, at one point you were like, "I don't know if I'm ready to talk about Fuller House yet." I was wondering, like, what, you're not sure you're going to be able to fill 5 minutes? We're on minute 9 at the moment. Like, you have such a head of steam about it. I don't want to take this away from you.
Well, here's what's happened.
I feel like
know this was in
flag
me.
on the field.
I didn't know this was in me. I also poured a large cup of coffee before we started the show, and it just got into my system. So anyway, all right. So we'll trim
what I'm saying.
Oh,
dude.
how rude.
How rude.
So I'll go back and trim a bunch of this out. Here's what I'll say. Fuller House itself is dumb, and that's what I like about it.
Uh,
Okay.
About the
Judge
trauma
Kelly,
time.
is Fuller House being dumb, or are the Oscars dumb?
oh my goodness. Oh wow. Um. Whew. Fuller House. Okay, I haven't seen it all the way through. I haven't seen it all, but I feel like I just watched it, so that's why I said all the way through. The DJ Tanner joke, I didn't know that. That's great. That's the perfect like middle sibling stab. Like that's a great thing. But Fuller being her last name is a interesting pun. The thing with those kind of shows is as dumb as I think that we constantly have to go back. Like I hate that there are just so many recreations of shows. You know, I hate that there's not any more original content. Everything is, well, let's go back and see what happened. Everything's a remake or whatnot. As much as I think that's dumb, I don't think there's really any harm in it. You know, I mean, you are just still kind of reintroducing this to new generations. And I don't have kids, but I have younger cousins who I didn't even realize that because of Nick and Night and whatever, they were watching Full House, and they had been reintroduced to it that way, and so they wanted to know what happened as well. So it's not just, you know, kids of our generation reminiscing. It's, you know, kids of younger generations who have been watching reruns now wanting that continuous chapter, and so that's where the need came for it. So it's dumb, but it's fine. The Oscars, on the other hand, I mean, I do love the Oscars. I watch it. I go to you know, a party where we all watch it and we all dress up and have like a recreation thing of it every year. It's a good fun thing. I don't watch sports, so the Oscars kind of become my sports, and like, you know, we got the scorecards going and voting and things like that. I mean, I love participating in it. However, the issues with the Oscars currently, that for sure is dumb, and it's not just a dumb thing. It's a harmful dumb. It's like it's a problem that needs to be addressed and corrected, and yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna go with the Oscars being dumb.
The Oscars are dumb. Okay. Let's move on to music then.
Alright.
This is hot, fresh news, which will be slightly awkward as this gets edited later. So this happened a while ago. The Foo Fighters are going on an indefinite hiatus. Yes, they are. This was hinted at by David Grohl. It was confirmed by the drummer, who I know his name totally. He's the drummer of Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins. Like everybody knows the drummer of Foo Fighters. Hold on, just one moment. Hold on a second, guys. Quick timeout.
Okay.
What's up, Mo? You lock the door? Night, night, Mo. I love you.
Night.
Night.
Mo knows how to open doors, ladies and gentlemen. And so he's just like walking into my office, like, cause like during the day, like I've got windows here that I could see out into the backyard. So I just let him play in the backyard, and I work in the office now. Okay. Foo Fighters are breaking up, guys. That's gonna be a really weird break in the edit. No, it's this is a. Okay, first off, it started getting announced that, and this was the dumbest thing about it, was that the initial announcement was that David Grohl was going to break up the band because he wanted to work on his solo project.
Mm-hmm.
David Grohl wanted to walk away from Foo Fighters to work on his solo project. I'm not sure if most people know this. The very first album that came out for Foo Fighters in '94 is 100% David Grohl.
Right.
Like, he recorded everything separately, and then when things happened to Nirvana, quite tragically, he put together a touring. Or I might have the timeline wrong on that. But he recorded the album first, then he put the band together and went on tour with it. So the fact that it was like initially going to be like, hey, the solo thing, I think it's gonna. I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. I think this is healthy. I think bands need to do this occasionally because, to be quite honest, the Foo Fighters, they haven't really had like a talent decline. But I'm trying to think of a good song that they've had that has sounded different in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's The Pretender, and then it's Something to Nothing, Walk. I'm going through like a list of their songs right now, and it gets all the way up to their most recent one, Saint Cecilia, and it's just, they're good songs, but you don't have any doubt that it's a Foo Fighters song, and it sounds so close to some of the earlier stuff that they did. Like, their sound is getting stale, and I think it's very smart of them to recognize that, and that's actually what they're talking about right now. They're also talking about how some of the band members have mentioned that this is getting, like, they just got off of a tour which pretty much nearly killed David Grohl. If you like look at all the stories that happened, like he broke his foot and then kept playing while the cast was being put on. Like, that's amazing dedication and all, but that also takes a toll on your body.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what Grohl will be doing. Sure, I'll say what the other band members are going to be doing because I totally will be able to spot their names later. Or somebody will say, oh, yeah, this is that guy that was on Foo Fighters, and now he's doing this as part of this group. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I'm not really broken up about Foo Fighters breaking up. Is that weird? I don't know. It's like, it's either we let them get stale and we let them just play their greatest hits for the next 20 years, or we let them continue to be artists and make new things. And I would rather new things.
New things, right?
Always new things, yes.
But it is dumb that the initial announcement was that David Grohl was breaking up his solo project to do his solo project. Like, it's like there was a complete disconnect. Like, you forget what Foo Fighters was to begin with.
Mm.
Yes. It's clearly turned into something different, but still. It's hard not to think of it as his solo project. Alrighty. Mr. Brandon J. Carr, I have no idea what the note is for your music.
Sure. Well, in the spirit of starting off all my segments with questions, here's some questions for you. Currently, what is my current auditory obsession?
Well, it would be Hamilton, of course.
Indeed. And knowing what you know about me, how would you say I feel about Star Trek?
Whoa.
I like Star Trek.
Well, yeah, no, I thought you were like going to do like the difference between the JJ. Like you're clearly a Star Trek fan, and now I have to figure out like what warring faction of Star Trek fan you are. That's what I thought you were trying to figure out.
It's not that complicated, although it does tie into my overall point.
Okay. But you are a Star Trek fan.
Yes. So just the other day, or many days ago, depending on when this gets posted.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Remember last March? At the end of February, there was a video posted called My Spock, which is a combination of a song from Hamilton. Not a combination. It's a rewrite of a song from Hamilton where the subject is no longer Alexander Hamilton and the people that surrounded him. It's now Spock. And it is wrapped in the style of Hamilton with the same backing track. It has verses mostly by just the performer, but then also by Spock, Kirk, Bones, and Chekhov, oddly enough. And what it does is it tells the whole story of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie. So it talks about, Vulcan imploding and Nero and all those things. All done in the Hamilton style. And I'll actually include an audio clip here so that people know what I'm talking about.
So what you're saying is that this is a Yankovicing of a Hamilton song.
It is, very much so. But, well, here's what I'll say about that. So, because I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about song parodies and the way that they're approached, and it's Weird Al, the way that he does the songs is he usually turns it into something not much like it was before. Like the song Our Love's in Jeopardy is very different in theme to I Lost on Jeopardy, which is Weird Al's version. And so all of his songs, there's a distance between the original song and whatever the parody is, for the most part. Beat It, thematically, is very dissimilar to Eat It, for instance.
Yes.
Now I'm just rattling off all the Yankovic covers.
Go through his playlist.
Right, right. Maybe he's listening. Hey, Weird Al.
Hi, Al. Please be a judge on the show.
Yes, that would be amazing.
We'll get in touch with your people.
And actually, there's a connection there because Weird Al did one of the Ham for Ham performances where he played accordion for Lin-Manuel Miranda. It was great. Mm-hmm. This, however, this is less of a parody and sort of a repurposing because it's the same rhyme scheme. In places, it's some of the same lyrics as well. It is very funny though, so it has a humorous element to it, but it's really well done. It's impressive because if you just say to someone, "Oh, here's a Hamilton song about Spock," then it doesn't sound like a great idea. But in the end, it winds up being a great idea, and it's over 5 minutes long, and I've watched it twice, which with my attention span it's like giving it an award. Basically. I will say though that, and this is the square in me, there are some swears. There's some raw language in it. 2, in fact, which I forgot about on the second watch when my daughter was with me. Yeah, so she knows some new words. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have banged my toe before, so she's heard them. But anyway, it's a really good thing, and I would advise anyone to check it out. It's by Jackson Lansing. It looks like it's the only thing on his YouTube channel right now, although he already has over 2,000 subscribers. So it's definitely picking up steam. Jeepers. It's definitely picking up steam. It has, right now, 43,000 views, which is not bad, because it just got posted 2 days ago. What is that?
Well, Kelly, are you getting abducted?
It's a train.
That sounded scary.
I'm so toned. I don't even hear it anymore. I'm so used to it.
It did. It sounded like an alien craft had hovered above you.
Before
and Star Trek.
So before you get abducted. Right.
Well, here's what's dumb about it, and
yeah.
It's the one thing that caught in my head when I was watching it is that it is the new Trek, and that when I think of like I'm able to move forward with characters like Kirk. Like I'm okay with Kirk in the new Trek, but when I think of Spock, I think of Leonard Nimoy, like no matter what. And he is briefly in the video because they talk about Ponfar, and there's no Ponfar example in the new movies. But it's a minor complaint, but it's definitely there. It's just I would have liked to have been less tied into the J.J. Abrams Trek.
Technically, Leonard Nimoy is Spock in New Spock.
Right. Correct.
Small loophole.
But they mostly show in the video Zachary Quinto.
Yeah.
So.
To be honest, he more or less is Nimoy 2.0.
I know.
Yeah. Like if there's like those two, like that was the most freakish casting out there. Like, so you really have a problem with Zachary?
No, I don't have a problem with him at all. It just, that I grew up with Next Generation. That was my Star Trek show, and then after that, I started watching original series episodes. And so between his appearances on Next Generation and watching the original series and then the movies that were coming out around that time, he's locked in my head as Spock. And like I said, I'm okay with the new Chekhov, for instance. Even though I enjoy the old Chekhov, I'm okay. It's not even a preference thing. It's just when I think of Spock, I think of this. And so it's not that dumb. I just needed something dumb to bring up. I needed,
you
needed to say something was
to
dumb.
get your Hamilton reference in.
Right.
You needed this. So this is, of the 8 shows, I'm pretty sure 6 Hamilton references at this point.
At least.
Wow.
It might be up to full 8 for 8 at this point.
Yeah.
To be fair, I put up as many Deadpool references, so we're doing okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would hear the Hamilton versus Deadpool argument at one point. That'll be the season finale.
Hampool.
Hampool.
Hampool. Okay, Judge Kelly, let's go to the tally. What is dumb? Is Foo Fighters breaking up, or is my Spock dumb?
Ooh. Well, I have to say that I love the Foo Fighters, and I have actually seen them perform. It was great. It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen too. And they just have great energy together. It was a lot of fun. So I didn't know they were breaking up, so I'm very disappointed about that. That's so sad. You broke the news to me. It's dumb, but I mean, how long have they been playing together? It's been
since '94.
94, my God.
22 years.
And can you imagine being on the road with the same 5 guys for 22 years? Well,
there's been some turnover in the band.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I understand the need for the break. And it's not even a full break, right? It's a hiatus.
It's a indefinite hiatus.
Indefinite
although one of the band members did refer to it as a "I hate us."
Oh,
but I think he was doing that very I'm being clever. At which point, I'm pretty sure that's why Dave Grohl writes all the songs.
Yeah. And this isn't the first time there was a Splinter thing. They had them Crooked Vultures, the split band there.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah. So I mean, this has been coming for a while, and they all got to go on with their lives. So I understand. The Spock thing, though, no, I gotta go with that being dumb. I'm just gonna go straight on to that. When I think of Spock, I always think of Leonard Nimoy singing the Bilbo Baggins song. That's what comes to my head. And that is what I'm hearing with this song. I'm sure it sounds nothing like that.
Nope.
That's what I hear. So I'm gonna go with that being dumb for personal reasons.
All right. That moves us on to gaming. I'm looking at the show notes and I'm realizing, wow, Brandon and I, we're being bleeding edge topical on what games we're talking about. I think both of our games. I'm trying to think how old your game is. We'll talk about that later. We are both currently obsessed. Well, it's not like we're talking decades old. The game I'm currently saying is dumb is a game that's FTL, or Faster Than Light. It's a computer game that came out in 2012. And I put a special note on it, said 138 hours. And the reason that is dumb is because Steam, it's the if you know video gaming, you know Steam. It's a platform for getting computer games onto your computer. Steam is a big jerk in that it tells you exactly how many hours you've played a video game. I didn't need to know that I hit 138 hours of playing FTL, and yet I think I paid $5 for this game, and I've gotten 138 hours out of it, and they've gone and added, I don't know when they added new content. I know that about a year ago I started playing it again and I was like, oh geez, there's a bunch of new content and features here. And then I just randomly started playing it again this week, and there was again new content that they just put in for free. It's whole new races, whole new quest lines that are added to this game. It's a simple little game that is incredibly frustrating and annoying. You manage a ship, a spaceship, and you're trying to get across this basic map, and your map is usually just little dots of light that you're going from here to here to here to here, and you get to see your ship from the top view, like the schematic of it, and you get to see where your people are in the ship. You have to manage the life support, the weapons, the shields. It's like it's such a simple game. There's like 20 different things that will go wrong, and if they go wrong, you die in space. And once you figure out what those 20 things are, then you're just balancing and managing those 20 things as you go across and you fight other ships. And then you have this big giant fight against this super ship at the end. And the words of how dumb I thought FTL was about 2 hours ago, because I was playing a round of FTL in my office and putting off doing the show notes because I was getting really far. I got to the final stage. I got, for those that know the final ship in FTL, like you have to kill it 3 times. I was on the 3rd phase of it. I was crushing it. That ship was my bitch, and it all fell apart, just miserably so. Everything just... and it is hard. There's no save in this game. There's no reset. If you reset, you go right back to the beginning. If somebody dies in this game, they're gone for good. It is incredibly unforgiving. And so I just watched what I thought was going to be a win to add to my tally of 138 hours of just crushing at this game. And this game just decided, yep, nope, we're just going to punch you in the nuts repeatedly. And that... I am going to play a round of it as soon as we get done recording, just because it's dumb. I'm going to show it that it's dumb.
You know, I have to say, based on the recently posted a Star Wars... Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right. I posted an entire Star Wars episode. This one might be our nerdiest yet. I mean, just an immediate jump from, oh, it's a rap video with Spock, to then you control your own ship and tell people where to sit.
Gotta remember to keep the oxygen on. That's important.
I
did definitely lose a crew member today because for some reason the oxygen got turned off and I forgot to turn it back on.
Why would that even be an option?
Because you can sabotage other ships' oxygen and you can slowly asphyxiate their crew.
So you have a button in your ship that turns off the oxygen
in your ship,
so that someone else can come on board and kill you all.
No, because sometimes you could be getting attacked, and then you have to make that decision of how much energy do you put to shields, how much into weapons, how much into the engines, how much into life support, and you have to make those decisions constantly adjusting to what's being thrown at you. Because, yeah, you can breathe old oxygen for a couple minutes in the game. Like the ship has oxygen in it. You don't need to keep constantly producing oxygen, so you might turn off the oxygen for a second to boost up the shields because you see a giant volley of lasers coming at you. But you better remember to turn that oxygen back on, or else everyone's going to die.
That was a much more detailed answer than I expected.
Wow, yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. I've never heard of this game. I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's so addictive. It's so good. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And it's very simple graphics and so complicated, and it's so frustrating and delightful. Yes. What is dumb in gaming for you, Mr. Brandon J. Carr?
Well, speaking of addictive and fun and delightful, I am going to discuss Minecraft, which recently, just within the last few days, put out a new update, version 1.9, which actually addresses some of the issues that it had previously. This is the first major update since Microsoft bought it, which was for... I've been playing for about 2 years. If even that. I've probably put in the same amount of hours in Minecraft. I mean, rest assured that when I am sitting idle, not editing this podcast, I am playing Minecraft. And this new version that they've released, it increases the combat system where you can actually have combat, because before it was just hit button, hit monster, hit button, hit monster. Now it actually, you have a shield and there's a whole thing to it. Now, have you played Minecraft at all?
Are we asking me or Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. My 5-year-old son and I have a map that we play together,
Mhm.
and then my wife, my son, and I have a different map. We're waiting for Monty to start to figure out how the controller works before we start the full family map.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
What about you, Kelly?
When you said Minecraft, at first I was like, oh yeah, I've played that, and then I realized, no, that's Minesweeper, and not Minecraft. I was like, how did they update that?
It's
There's
amazing.
combat!
The explosions
Did
are
they just like
huge.
push little squares until it blows up? Like, how did they update that game? I'm curious. But yeah, so no, I have not played.
Although, actually, I will say this. I recently got a machine that runs Windows 10, my first Windows machine in a long time, and they have updated Minesweeper.
Oh my god. No,
But that is
okay.
not what we're talking about. That is neither here nor there.
So we know we're hitting the bottom of the barrel when Minesweeper shows up.
Exactly.
Notes.
Windows Solitaire. Here's why it's dumb. So Minecraft is at its heart it's a building game essentially. It's blocks of dirt and trees and things, and there's one track where you are trying to survive and fight monsters and find shelter in the night and build things with the items that you found. There's another track that you can take where you can just go into creative mode and have access to everything and build. There's a community project where they've built, just to go back a little bit nerdier, community has built a full-scale enterprise in the game, Starship Enterprise, where you can go in.
Westeros.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I forgot because I don't care about Game of Thrones. But yes, someone has done a full map of Westeros, and there are all sorts of things like that. And people have been recreating like actual cities, and there's a lot of potential in what you can do with it. And the reason that I'm addicted to it is because I am a creative person who doesn't always like to create from scratch. And sometimes it's nice to just turn off my brain and dig in the dirt, the virtual dirt. I'm not going to go outside for an hour just to dig a tunnel and find some coal and get my furnace running. It's very zen in that way, and it's got a very mellow soundtrack, sort of electronic, new age kind of soundtrack. So this new update seems to be adding to the game being more complicated, where it's a very simple block-based game. Everything is broken down into a specific size block, and that's why it was so successful, because it doesn't take up a lot of space on your computer unless you build giant maps, and you can get all sorts of mods and resource packs and everything. And it seems like with this new update, it's taken a turn in a more complex direction. And since Microsoft's behind the scenes now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It remains to be seen. But right now, they've added in some fun stuff. Like you can find igloos just in the wild, and some of the igloos have a trapdoor in the bottom, and you can go underground, and there's a zombie for some reason. So it has fixed some things. It fixed the boats. The boat mechanics are terrible in this game, and now they're great. It's very simple things. People who've played Minecraft who are listening, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you get your boat near the shore, it doesn't just shatter into pieces anymore, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a big help. So it's got some cool things here and there, and hopefully it's for the better. But yes, I am. This is my FTL. This is the game that I will go into whenever I just need to clear my head and need a video game addiction. And I've got it on the Xbox 360, on my laptop, and also my son and I recently got it on the Wii U. So we have it across the board. And there are some variations between the different versions, he says, justifying spending all this money on it.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it on any tablet, did you say?
I might have the Pocket Edition on my iPad.
Yeah. Pocket Edition is a fun way to kill time. It's just like, yeah.
It frustrates me because it's hard to control.
And it also doesn't have nearly as many features as the... yeah.
Well, I got to the point where I was in creative mode developing these like complex machines with command blocks and everything, and then I jumped over to the Pocket Edition. I was like, oh, okay, I can punch a tree now, and that was about the extent of my technological ability. So,
Punch tree to get wood.
right, punch tree, get wood, build
Weirdest
torch.
fetish ever.
Right. And you basically get wood to make an axe to chop down more trees, and it's just but it's sustainable. I built a whole orchard in one of my maps, but anyway.
I built an orchard on top of a castle, so that
I have a castle next to an orchard.
Oh, nice.
We should swap maps sometime.
This is just a really quick side note. This is the problem of playing Minecraft with your 5-year-old son. You can find a wolf in the game, and you can tame this wolf, and you can make the wolf into a dog. You could then tell the dog to sit and stay, or to guard you and follow you. And Frank was delighted about this. So we tamed a dog, and then he named him Bricky, and it was just so sweet and delightful. Bricky was an idiot, though. Bricky did not pay attention to me when I was swinging a pickaxe and digging through some rocks outside, and I had him guarding me just in case like a creeper tried to come up behind me, which probably would have killed Bricky as it is. Like I'm not really thinking about that, but I definitely took a pickaxe to Bricky's head and killed Bricky right in front of my son.
Oh no, Bricky!
I could have old yellered an actual dog and been less traumatic to him at that point.
Oh.
Well, let me tell you how things change as your child ages. So when I'm playing with my 12-year-old, he likes to find and tame as many dogs as he can, and then follow me around with them so that they're constantly barking at me. And
So
then
he just trolls you.
yeah, so then in the last game that we played, he actually built a little structure next to the building that I was working on, and then shoved them all in it and closed it off so that they would get hungry and just start barking, all like 11 of them. So what I did is I blew it up.
Oh no.
So that's the difference between a 5-year-old and a 13-year-old when you're playing along with them.
It's been
I don't
months.
feel bad at all.
It has been months since I killed Bricky. He has since named every dog that we've tamed then a variation of Bricky. And I got him a little toy set of all the little animals that you can get in Minecraft. And he reminds me every time he plays with the dog, like, this is just like Bricky, the dog that you killed.
The dog you murdered.
Dog murderer.
Oh my gosh, just...
Oh.
Do I need to build a memorial for Bricky? Is that what I need to do at this point?
I think what you do now isn't really going to matter. It's more how it comes up in therapy down the road.
Later on in life.
He killed my dog.
Bricky.
Oh my god.
With a pickaxe. And then he just like said, "It's okay." Okay.
In his game, you killed a dog with a pickaxe. In your game, you killed a crew member with oxygen, or without taking away oxygen. What I'm hearing is, Darren, you're not very good at these games, are you?
Nor are you trusted as a teammate. I'm starting to have some concerns about...
There's a reason why you live 3 time zones away from goodness, Brandon.
I think it's for the best. Let's never do a live show.
Glad none of us are in the same room right now.
Oops, forgot the oxygen.
Oh, yes. Well, control it from afar. Okay, what is dumb other than this conversation? Is it Microsoft coming in and adding updates to Minecraft to add some more complications to it? Or is it FTL just... It was the 3rd phase, like, that ship should have blown up.
Oh my. Well, would the Microsoft updates have saved Bricky? That's what I want to know. Would they have done anything to save Bricky? I don't think so. So
No, I don't think so.
No. So at that point, I think the Microsoft updates are dumb. I'm gonna go with that simply because I don't quite understand the point of Minecraft. Couldn't quite figure out what needed to be changed. We couldn't save Bricky. Whereas the other game, I'm still not sure. FTL. FTL. I'm still not entirely sure what your problem is with it, but you're so passionate about it, and nothing that passionate can be dumb. Nothing. So that's where I stand, based on Darren's passion.
I don't know how you fail to understand what Minecraft is about when I explained it so poorly.
In my head, it's like I was like, yeah, The Sims, right? Or like SimCity. It's like that. That's
kind of like
it's more like
Sonic. I really stopped video games a long time ago, but
it's digital Legos.
It's digital Legos. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Digital Legos, and some of the Legos are trying to kill you.
And some of them are dogs that you kill.
And then some of them are very dumb dogs.
Dumb dogs.
Okay, that brings us over to the etc. portion of our show.
Right.
Okay. I just got a short one here. Toy Fair happened recently, so we're starting to see the geek toys come out. It's interesting because there's definitely a spoiler for Captain America: Civil War in the toys.
Mm.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Oh.
No, yeah. If you look up Captain America toy spoiler, you will see it. It's revealing one of the characters having a power that has not been shown yet on TV or movies. So that's all I'll say about that. But there's also, when you Google that, there's a completely other article that pops up, and it talks about Captain America's suit getting a new power upgrade, and it's totally being spoiled by this toy. I will talk about this one because I guarantee you, I will bet money that this toy is not actually based off of the movie. It's a Captain America helmet, and then it's got like a Dragon Ball Z viewfinder over one of the eyes. Like, it's basically the equivalent of saying, oh my gosh, this new Boba Fett toy totally spoils the fact that he rides on a jet skiff that shoots a missile the size of his head. Or maybe, just maybe, every now and then, toys come up with like extra little things that are just appealing to 8-year-old boys. Like that is actually what's going on. Like, I'll spoiler there. I'm relatively sure that Captain America does not throw on the viewfinder and then go, Iron Man is over 9,000! Like, that's not going to happen.
But I hope it does.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's be honest. I will bet. Which one of you guys want to take me up on this? I'll do the $5 bet that it's not going to happen, and if it does, it'll be the happiest $5 I ever give away in my life. Not the over 9,000 part. If he puts any sort of like dorky little viewfinder over his face,
I will take you up on this. $5 when it happens.
If he has some sort of helmet attachment.
Helmet attachment.
Targeting assistance. If the world's greatest soldier needs Iron Man-esque technology to make himself seem just like Iron Man as he's fighting Iron Man. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Like, there's also like Crossbones. Like, it reveals what he looks like underneath the mask on another toy. But that was kind of like we kind of saw that one coming. A building fell on him in the last movie.
Yeah.
So, the last Captain America movie. That's like, and to be honest, the spoiler that I'm still not going to say, it's not nearly as delightful of a spoiler as Baby Groot, which I will have so much respect for James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, for mandatory saying that Baby Groot will not be in Wave 1 of the Guardians of the Galaxy toys. Like, it made everybody want a Baby Groot, and they went out to try to get one, and it wasn't available for a while because he didn't want Toy Fair and toy companies spoiling this out. And like, we're seeing that trend a lot with movies. Like, I think we talked about it a little bit with The Force Awakens, that Star Wars. Did I talk about it, or did I?
No. We talked about it, but that was the defense that was given for the lack of Ray toys.
Oh, no. I mean it more about the fact that even then it was a lack of. They threw out characters. Oh, okay, yeah, we probably didn't keep in the point about Eloasti.
Yeah,
Uh,
that did not make it in.
yeah, okay. The fact that they made Eloasti like one of the main toys initially, like that was he's a character that has one line of dialogue, and he tragically blows up while attacking Starkiller Base. Spoilers. Uh, spoilers. A background character goes Jed Porkins while making a Death Star car.
Oh, spoilers!
Okay.
Porkins
Oh,
dies.
jeez, I'm just spoiling. Okay.
Spoilers upon spoilers.
All right, Brandon. What is your dumb, etc.?
Actually, I want to ask you a question real quick because I went on Google. Is what you're referring to one of the pop figures?
The spoiler one?
Yeah. Specifically, the
Uh,
name that appears on the packaging.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could also look at the Lego set and the scale of that character.
Ah. All right.
Yes.
I mean, we knew it was coming at
Yeah.
some point, right? Anyway.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's see. So today I saw a video. No, today I saw many videos. Today I saw a specific video featuring something that I'm probably going to mispronounce. Expect a lot of mispronouncing in this. The Wintergatten's Marble Machine, which was built by a Swedish musician named Martin Molin.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh.
And it is, I hope you guys have seen it, and if you haven't, please seek it out, because it is this amazing construct of beautifully sculpted wood. It also has a kick drum, a bass, a vibraphone, and several other instruments. It then uses a hand crank where the gentleman who's performing the music in the video is cranking the whole time, except during the breakdown. And then it's powered by 2,000 marbles that run through the system. And it's got all of these different chutes and pathways that you can adjust on the fly. It's fully customizable. But by keeping a consistent turn with the crank and a consistent speed and rotation, the marbles go through in a certain way so that, for instance, one path will make the marbles drop on the kick drum. And so it'll go boof, 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 and then another part will go onto the bass, and then whoever's playing it can hold down over different frets and change what the notes are. And I had the song that this stupid wooden machine played using marbles stuck in my head for most of the day because the whole thing was so clever that it's insane. It took him 14 months to build it. And on his YouTube page, you can actually see update videos that he posted over the last 14 months where it shows, hey, I got this part to work. The kick drum's working, or this particular path now works. And he designed the whole thing on a computer, and then it's all hand carved from what I can tell, because it looks like it's all hand carved wood. So it can be adjusted so that the different paths go in different ways, so you can change the song so that it's not just a one-use thing, because it's taller than him, and it's got all of these pieces to it. And I don't know a way to describe it to do it justice. And I will put in an audio clip just of what it sounds like, but that doesn't...
It's that screensaver that was out like 15 years ago. It was like the demo thing that computer stores used to put to show off how good their graphics card and audio card was. Like, some people will be like, they'll think about it and like, yes, this is exactly. Another one is one that showed up on Sesame Street. That they had a similar one of these, and it's almost like a Rube Goldberg perpetual energy machine.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. I can't explain it in a way that watching it will impact someone. It's not the first marbly music machine that's ever come to be, but watching the marbles fall on the different xylophone keys?
Mm-hmm.
Are the keys on
Yeah.
a xylophone? Okay.
Yeah.
Xylophone keys, and then go into the funnels and then go back and get recycled into the machine. And the whole thing, it said that the behavior of the marbles is treated like water. So that's really one way that they went about designing it, was how would water flow through here. And then, so now he wants to build more, and he wants to create smaller ones that he can sell, or kits that he can sell the plans to. I don't know. It's amazing, and it has to be watched. to be completely understood. Like it's something that like I would like to go to a gallery somewhere and try out. You know, even if I'm not doing any of the manual stuff, even just to turn the crank long enough to go like I'm making marble music, you know, that would be amazing.
So is it? Let's figure out why it's dumb. I have a theory.
Okay.
Is it dumb because you don't get to play with it right now?
Someone's been paying attention to my previous dumbs. Because it is in Sweden, and I can't get to Sweden right now, and or probably ever. I don't know. But yes, the dumb is that I cannot make the marble music as of right now.
Or doom, as they say in Sweden.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm literally just making that up. So. Okay, Judge Kelly. Last topic. What is dumb? Is Captain America's dorky little helmet add-on being labeled a movie spoiler, or is Brandon not being allowed to play with marbles to make the marble music? Borska, the Swedish, right? Which is dumb?
Wow. Well, I feel like the goggles on the glasses are if it is new technology, it kind of goes against Captain America, right? Because he's I don't know, he's from a different time, and they're upgrading his suit. Like, I don't really like that.
Now, Captain America did have a laser shield for a while.
Well, that was cartoon. They had a laser shield, and actually...
No, he had it in the comics. It was... I distinctly remember George Perez at some point drawing him with a laser shield.
Is that the one that they... this is where we can get very nerdy. Was that actually Captain America, or was that Skrull Captain America?
Well, I guess technically anything from...
When did his
get
character get abducted? Is then the question becomes.
I don't know.
If somebody knows, feel free to email us that answer at 5dumbthings@gmail.com. We're sorry, Kelly. We really went on a tangent there. In the movie universe, the upgrade that he has gotten is he has a very powerful magnet on his suit that calls the shield to him.
Which. Yeah,
but other than that, he's a guy.
A man from the 40s could understand magnets. Like, I don't know. Here's the problem with this.
Wait, I just want to really quickly establish. We have established that a man from the 40s, Captain America, is not a juggalo. Okay. Go on.
Yeah, I was definitely leaning on Captain America to be the dumb thing here, because it's, I don't know, I don't think a goggle is really going to tell you too much. But when you reworded Brandon's dumb thing to, is it dumb that he can't play it right now? That changed things for me. First I was like, no, this instrument isn't dumb. It sounds amazing. It sounds clever. I haven't seen the thing yet, but I saw the thumbnail of it. I can't wait to watch the video. But then you worded it, is it dumb that Brandon can't play it yet? And now I gotta go with that. I gotta go with that as being dumb. I'm sorry, Brandon. I want you to play marble music as much as you do, but
yeah.
Something you gotta wait for.
I felt that one coming. I felt it coming in the air tonight. So long. So long. Okay, that brings up those are our 5 dumb topics. To recap really quickly, we have decided that Gods of Egypt is dumb, the Oscars are dumb, My Spock is dumb, the Microsoft Minecraft 1.9 combat update is dumb, partially because it still won't say Bricky, and we've decided that Captain America... Oh, wait, no, sorry. The Winter Garden Marble Machine not being allowed to be played by Brandon is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Is that...
Yep. That sums it up.
I got that. Okay. Follow-up dumbness. It looks like both Brandon and I have a note here with the Oscars. It should be noted. during the Star Wars special, we were talking about how there was a push to get John Williams an Oscar for his work on Star Wars. It did not work. The Star Wars, as they call them, was 0 for 5 at the Academy Awards this year. I am still bitter. Yes.
Although, congratulations to Ennio Morricone.
Yeah,
that's pronounced.
That was actually his. It was his first Oscar with like 600 movie credits, something like that.
At least it might be in the thousands.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's like 500.
It's like 600.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something absurd. Yeah, it was time for him to win for sure. And I mean, you know, Jay Will, as much as I love him, the rock star that he is, I mean, he's done so many Star Wars already that it wasn't really a quite original score.
True. But we discussed that before too.
Yeah. And Brandon, you had and it's from the same episode actually.
Yes, and it's actually a tie-in to that conversation we had because we decided that, or we theorized that the Lin-Manuel Miranda songs Jabba Flow and oh my God, Dope. And the other one, Jabba Flow, and the other one did not appear on the soundtrack in order to make it all John Williams all the time, so that he would be eligible for the Oscar on his own. Jabba Flow has actually appeared now on an album that Disney/Lucasfilm put out called Star Wars Headspace, and it is an entire like EDM album loosely based on the Star Wars universe. It's basically like dance tracks, and every once in a while C-3PO says, "Oh my goodness!" You know, that's about how tied in it is. And in fact, the version of Jabba Flow that appears on it is not the original version. It is a Rick Rubin remix that barely sounds like the original. So we're still not quite there in terms of having those songs released, but we're almost there.
But they're starting to use it, so it might exist someday in a purchasable format. So that's good. Okay, let's move on to the shameless plugs portion of the show. My shameless plug, I'm going to be talking about Mega Art Wars. It's going to be it's every second Saturday. We do a show at 8 p.m. at the Improv Space in Los Angeles. That's right next to UCLA. So our next show is going to be March 12th. If you're listening to this show after March 12th, then it's the second Saturday of every month, 8 p.m. Be there, Mega Art Wars. Brandon.
Yes, I will be appearing this weekend, on Friday actually, as patient dad at my son's birthday celebration. We will be doing laser tag and eating sushi.
Oh, patient dad, like calm dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not father of patient.
Like a patient. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was like patient zero. Like.
No. This is a role that I've perfected over the years of Thanksgiving or Halloween's. So I'll be doing that. Anyone's welcome to show up, especially since it'll already have happened by the time this gets released. We'll be at Funland playing laser tag.
Travelers welcome.
It's true, and I can tell you all the presents I'm going to get him right now, and he would never hear it until later, or ever. I doubt he's going to listen to this, but that's okay.
Aww.
I know.
What's the main present this year?
I'm getting him the Twilight Princess HD remaster for the Wii U, because he didn't get to play it very much when I had it on the Wii, because I didn't really. It's not my favorite Zelda game, so I didn't play it that much. And then I went on to other ones, and we've played Wind Waker together, and we played Skyward Sword together. And so he got very excited when this was first announced, and it comes with an amiibo, and he collects those. So that's going to be the big one, and then some other nerdy stuff too.
Mm-hmm. And then Kelly, what is your shameless plug?
Well, I've got two important things coming up. I've got a show at Flapple 3, Mega Art Wars, of course. Show at Flappers on March 16th, the Cookies and Sweatpants show, which is going to be a good time. And then also my company's film, Too Late, is going to be premiering out in select theaters across the country on March 18th. So be sure to go see that.
Too Late.
Too Late, yes.
Yes.
It's a film noir. It's shot completely on 35mm film. It's 5 long takes only, so each scene is approximately the length of a film reel changeover. So it's only 5 scenes, 5 takes.
Wow.
True take. Mm-hmm. We hold
5 true one takes. Like, oh wow.
yeah, no like Birdman or some of the other long takes that have CG or creative splicing. Like, this is true 35mm long takes. Yeah, and it's only going to be shown in theaters on 35mm as well.
Oh, wow. Where can we
Yeah.
find a list of theaters where it's showing?
Well, there's toolate.com. We've also been we're on Facebook and various other social media accounts posting weekly of where we're going to be at.
I think I've got the advantage over you, Brandon, on the ability to actually see this movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, there's a.
Where you, well, we'll talk later. It's actually
Brandon's in the middle of Virginia,
Yeah.
not terribly close to cities.
I'm not like in the mountains where I'm just getting internet because I'm holding up a really long metal pole. But
You I don't know if we're playing. I can't remember off the top of my head. We're playing Virginia. I know we're playing Kentucky. We're playing Columbus, Ohio. We're playing a lot of just anywhere that has a local theater that loves film and wants to use their projectors again. That's where we're going.
Right on. Now you said toolate.com, TOOLATE,
Yes.
because that is showing as for sale.
Toolatemovie.com.
Oh.
Sorry. It would help if the plug included the right address.
So toolatemovie.com.
There it is.
There it is. Got John Hawkes. Yeah, all sorts of. It's good time.
Do you want to ask her again where we can see information about where her movie is screening?
I think that's a good idea. So Kelly,
Yes.
where can we get more information about where this film is showing?
If you check the website toolatemovie.com, then we have all of our listings on the website.
Great, thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, that brings us to the close of our show. I'm going to really quickly click on a couple things here so that I know the right things to say. Next week, our guest judge will be Whitney Melton, yet another Los Angeles comic that is a crazy person and has the inability to draw raccoons. For my guest judge, Kelly Thewlis, and my ghost co-host, the ghostest with the mostest, Brandon J. Carr, I've been Darren J. Gendron, and we've been really, really dumb.